Hello everyone. Good evening all. Welcome to today's CEM webinar on Harithaharam, which is on Telangana's Green Initiative. Thank you all for joining in for this session. Today's session will be moderated by Dr. Rajiv Kumar Chaturvedi, who is an assistant professor at Birla Institute of Technology, Goa, India, and also the co-lead of Forest Ecosystem Specialist Group of IUCN Commission on Ecosystem Management. Myself, Deepu Shudas. I'm currently the South Asian Regional Chair of IUCN Commission on Ecosystem Management. In today's session, we will hear from Mr. Mohan Chandra Pagain, who is a Principal Chief Conservator of Forest of Telangana State in India. He's a native of Uttarakhand and has joined the Indian Forest Service in 1990. Started his career in Forest Service as a Divisional Forest Officer, and he worked in various parts of Andhra Pradesh. Later served as a Field Director of Amrabad Tiger Reserve. During then, he launched a program called Tiger Calling to bring awareness among the school children of the fringe villages of the Tiger Reserve. He also served in various other capacities, including Special Secretary to Pollution Control Board, Tribal Development Department, Municipal and Urban Development Department, and Environmental and Forest Department. With special interest in forest landscape restoration, natural-based solutions, climate change, and environmental awareness, some of his works needs a special mention, like the promotion of low-cost water harvesting structures as a livelihood alternative for rural farmers of Andhra Pradesh, and a World Bank-supported project involving local forest dependent communities through joint forest management committees under the Andhra Pradesh Community Forest Management Forestry Project. The other one is on a cloud seeding project and a biodiesel plantation program in Andhra Pradesh, which was conceptualized as a flagship program, Telangana Ku Haritha Haram, which we are about to hear from him. Recently, he was selected as one among 22 change agent bureaucrats of India for the year 2022, who brought a positive change in the lives of people. He always has his professional and personal life in sync with nature and takes a special interest in making people aware and concerned towards the environment and its conservation by using various platforms like national dailies, online portals, blogs, and social media. Now, I would pass on to Dr. Rajiv to moderate today's session.
Thank you, Deepu, very much. And it is my pleasure to welcome Sri Mohan Chand Pargan. And as Deepu has introduced, he has done a lot of work in the area of forest conservation, especially in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana region. And today, we are fortunate that he has agreed to speak about the Harithaharam project, which has been very successful from the afforestation and reforestation perspective in India. In India today, we have approximately 25% of the geographic area under forest and tree cover. And the National Forest Policy of India suggests that we should take this forest and tree cover to approximately 33%. The timeline has not been specified. So in this context, the experiment that has been done has been successfully implemented in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, especially the Harithaharam project. That gives us a lot of hope, and this shows a path to other actors in this area about how to go in a sustainable way to achieve the afforestation and reforestation goals and the goals of increasing forest cover. So without further delay, I would like to invite Sri Mohan Ji, PCC of Telangana State, for giving his perspective on the Harithaharam project and talking about its various aspects. It is like my pleasure to tell that he has been associated at the very beginning of the project, even at the conceptualization level of the project. So I'm hopeful that he will be able to give us a very important perspective, which will be useful to all of us. So Sri Mohanji, over to you.
Hi, thank you. and good evening to all participants, and very big thank to IUCN CM, and especially Dr. Chaturvedi, Dr. Deepu, and also Honorable Vasu, and also Ms. Dhyani, actually, she has been instrumental in, I think, bringing this possible, because we are talking from last 2 or 3 months that, and she was also suggesting that why don't you take one session so that the people should aware and all these things. It's my pleasure to be among you and having opportunity of sharing the view of this flagship program of government of Telangana. So what I will do that I have this presentation, I mean, these are the 31 slides will be there. So I will just go through this slide, and in between I have 2 clips actually, one little, I mean, more, I mean, duration, I mean, that is around 14-minute clip of snapshot of the Telangana Haritha Haram program, and another thing regarding some, I mean, how the quality of the input helps to achieve any program. So that will I come to know. So that first I will start my presentation, and I will just share my screen in that. Okay, 1 minute. I hope it visible.
Yes, sir, it is with.
So in fact, Telangana Ku Haritha Haram. So before that, actually, I just go a little bit backdrop, but mostly we are know that why the forests are important, why are the role in the present scenario, and how they are being treated as one of the best alternative or choice for the nature-based solution to counter the various vagaries of climate change, including other, I mean, challenges which are continuous, which are very genuine concern for the present and also the future generation. So it has also a linkage with climate change, biodiversity, and long-term benefits and short-term benefits of the developmental, because that is the major need, because there's a very big challenge how to make a balance between development and environment. So in that way, this also comes into picture that how beautifully we can have a balance. So that is one thing. If I just go by global scenario, we are aware that almost 30%, 31% of land area is now globally having forest. But since 1990, we have almost lost 10% of the forest. That is mainly all developmental needs, maybe some of the then, I mean, for commercial use also, as it being done in the Amazon side and all these things. The other factor which is very important and which is very crucial is that nearly 250 million people, they depend on the forest and forest resources for various these things, either subsistence or income and for other uses. So it shows how people are very important as far as the forests are concerned. If I just go the national scenario that about the, because usually we see the India's forest cover or any countries or at a global level also we always talk of forest cover. So there is a not very authentic or very, I mean, scientifically we don't have, but there is a record that during 1947 we are having 40 million hectare of this thing. So because before independence actually. So what happened after that? Around 1970, the data says that we are having 76.5 million. That there is no increase in that. It is mainly because of that. After independence, we got a lot of the Peninsular state. They also merged with the India, and with that also came the forest area. So the latest, I mean, the earliest record would say that 1970 we are having 76.5 million hectares. That was 23% of the land area. At the latest, as you are aware, that it is 71.37 million hectares. That accounts around 21.7 this thing. So if I just go to national scenario, then what are the, I mean, various things that which has made or which are allowing us to think that this is very important. So almost 5.7 million hectare actually we have lost since independence for non-forestry purposes. Non-forestry purposes, you know that all kind of activity which are non-forestry, maybe they are the genuine purposes of the agriculture, genuine purposes of the development, and genuine purposes of the, I mean, extraction of the forest and wherever the even the scientific line also it is done. And as per one estimate, it is said that before 1980, because 1980 we got our act enacted as the Forest Conservation Act. So before that, from 1950 onward, we lost around, or you can say we diverted. It is not the, you cannot say the lost, I mean, no, it is a diverted for various purposes. It was around 4.5 million. And after 1980, after the enactment of that Forest Conservation Act, it was 1.2 million hectare. So that is this thing which comes as a need base, we can say. The second thing is that nearly 25 crore people in India. This is the maybe this may be more or less, but this is I think some 5 to 6 year old that database. It says that around 25 crore people, they depend on the forest, depend on for subsistence livelihood, and mainly our tribal communities and all those communities which live near the fringe villages or fringe forest area in the village. Other very important aspect for the Indian which is agrarian country, and we have the main animal husbandry, and that has the very big bearing on the forest, though it has different dimension, and one of the major dimension how it degrade our forest, how it affect our forest regeneration. So almost 75% forest area is being affected by the grazing, by indirectly or directly. And another aspect, that being a poor country, developing country and having a lot of dependence, shifting cultivation and encroachment, they are the major challenges. One of the major challenges for the forest. They are at least, or data said that around 10 million hectare of forest is under encroachment or shifting cultivation. Though the data, the information being given by the government, especially during the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha questions, so there are some variation because different formats are there. So this doesn't there, but by and large, this is the almost real estimate. That we have 10 million hectare is the forest which is being subjected to shifting cultivation and encroachment. So whatsoever, whether this is non-forestry purposes or other factors which are, major challenge in the Indian forestry, they affect both regeneration and productivity of forest. So resulting into low productivity and this thing. But policy, as we say, from 1952 onwards, we kept on saying that thing, we should have 1/3 of our land area under forest. From 1952, we said the first time, and the latest recent policy, forest policy of India of 1988, also the same. we reiterated the same commitment that we should have 1/3 of the forest area. Then coming to tree planting, we all know that it is a factor that we have one of the best and cheapest way of mitigation, either sequestering carbon from atmosphere or supporting and sustaining biodiversity, and other having mind-blowing potential to tackle the climate crisis and environmental challenge and disaster. That is the reason that it is being that one of the best and nature-based solution for at present challenges. So now, if you see the global effort and drivers too, because obviously we are having that challenge that we should increase our forest cover. So what are the, just some of the global effort we have done. It is that Bone Challenge in 2011, we committed that we will restore around 150 million hectare of degraded and deforested landscape by 2020. Later on, we say it will be 350 million hectare by 2030, and we know that during 21 to 30, this was also reiterated, and we made a UN decade of ecosystem restoration, where we say that we should be covering 350 million hectare of degraded forest, and we need to tackle. Similarly, there are the other states or the other country. They also made various drives or commitment, and one of them is the Billion Tree Tsunami of Pakistan. It was launched in 2014. Similarly, the very famous China's Great Green Wall to tackle 35 million hectares. Similarly, Ethiopia's planting of 350 million, and the recent one of the World Tree Project of World Economic Forum. That was at the global level. If you come to India's, especially at the national level, so we have committed that we will be creating an additional sink of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of CO2 equivalent. That is either, one thing is that we will increase our forest cover to 33%. That is around 95 million hectare from current 60, 70 million hectare to that thing. And we'll again restore 26 million hectare of land by 2030. So these two aspects, increasing forest cover and restoring degraded forest, they are our main target at the time. Similarly, in the various states also started various interventions, like Maharashtra, they have a plan of planting, they had that plant 330 million sapling. UP in the year 2019, they said 220 million planting. Madhya Pradesh also started 2017 to 66 million planting. But the fact is that they were the very commitment or the mission mode or the drives. But many of these, if you just further check or inquire about these things, we noticed that they are at the temporary or a cosmetic kind of what I say that, because just to, I mean, show the people that we are green heavy or we are really green or low self-life, and reason being that either they were not having a proper policy support, either they were supported by the required financial, or they were not having a strong political will to, I mean, implement or to ground these commitment or targets. So, and you know that One Mahotsav we started in 1950, as all we are aware that this every year in July, we also celebrate first week of this thing, One Mahotsav program. It was started at that time by the then Agriculture Minister K. Munshi. But somehow, if you just see the from 1950 onwards, so I don't think that it could not achieve any considerable and noteworthy progress for the last 7 decades, though it was one of the main commitment that, but somehow there are certain, I mean, maybe challenges of various kind which have held. So now to coming to the particular, I mean, interesting or what I say, the landmark program of Harithaharam, which is Telangana's green initiatives. There is some spelling we say initiative, I think. Okay. So as you are aware that during 2014 on 2nd June, Telangana became 29th state of Indian Republic. So it is the youngest Indian state. And apart from other program of both, I mean, people's, I mean, benefit and of the, I mean, community benefit or overall benefit, it has also prioritized environment and tree program as one of the major area for concern. That is the main thing, that immediately after taking over, the new government has given its emphasis and priority to them, and they have also learned there are many flagship program, and Telangana Ku Haritha Haram. It means a green garland for Telangana. So this was launched in 2015 as one of the major flagship program, and the major purpose was there that we have to, I mean, improve the existing, I mean, green cover, which is around 24% at that time, and bring it to 33%, equal to the national, I mean, policy commitment of 33%. So that was the major design in 2014, and it was launched in 2015, Telangana Ku Haritha Haram. So obviously, in any government program, it has given some mandate of planting some trees. That was the main this thing. So we have that as the 2,300 million tree planting target was fixed, out of which around 200 million was exclusively in the forest area, 8 and out of exclusively by the tree planting, and 800 million was meant for forest, but not by the direct, I mean, way, but it was the indirect way, that is rejuvenation. Since the rejuvenation also leads to, I mean, improve the new generation and the new plantation, or it allow the new generation to come. So that was also taking into, I mean, account by that way. And third thing is there that planting around 100 million trees were targeted for the local body, as it's called the urban body. One is GHMC, is Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. Other is HMDA, Hyderabad Municipal Development Authority. And the balance 1,200, that is the, I mean, major part, it was outside the forest area. Please mind that this is the outside forest area. So our major concern, more than, I mean, 50% target, it was the outside the notified forest area. So that was the target, or it was a given mandate given to that thing. So in case of inside forest, whatever the activity, I'll just go that we started the planting, linear planting, doing the trench bund or reserve forest boundary line, or doing block planting of different methods, or assisting natural regeneration, which I am saying that this indirectly. So it has various component, direct or indirect component involved in that program. They were inside forest. And outside forest, we have various, I mean, activities. We say linear planting by the various agency, avenue planting, canal bund planting, tank bunds and farm bunds. Then we say block planting on the blocks of different community lands or farmlands or tank beds. Similarly, institutional planting, all kind of government offices, local bodies, colleges, school, housing colony, etc. Home street planting, there was a major component where we distributed tree, I mean, species desired planting material to the, I mean, people, so they can grow wherever they have the place, either backyard or front or their colony or this thing. Industrial planting, another area where we have a lot of scope. And municipality and urban area, I saw that all urban lands or urban pockets. So another very important thing, the monitoring is a very important aspect of that thing. So to ensure that these are program are monitored highest level to the lowest level. So the government has also constituted state level steering committee. It was headed by chief secretary, then followed by the state level monitoring and coordination committee. It was headed by principal secretary for us, and district level monitoring and coordination committee, or the chairman is district collector. And at the village level, what is called the sarpanch or village head, that is called Haritha Rakshana committee, that is the green protection committee. And other parks, there are all site and plants, whenever they are being georeferenced, geotagged, and especially it giving more emphasis to outside forests, or especially urban area. Urban area, again, further emphasis was given that a state level high power committee headed by chief secretary was, constituted to look after that thing. So if I just see how the different department, if you see this year target, this year profile, how the planting, giving that how various departments are actively involved, and not on the forest department, the outside forest area, or not only a forest official, but the other officials also involved, other departments are very actively involved. So during 2022-3, that is up to now, we are going on. It means 1st April 2022, 1st March coming this year, current year. So we have planted around 20 crore or 26 lakh, that comes around 20 lakh. And this is the major, you see that forest is not having much area in that case. Forest is having only 2 crore seedling, 2.8 crore seedling, or 286 lakh. This is the point of that I'm saying. While this MAUD, this is called the Municipal Administration Department, all over that urban body, GHMC, or all urban green area. And a major part was there, the DRDO, Rural Development Department, which is having the funding of Manrega funding, all the villages and all these things. They have done all outside planting. So my point is that outside planting, outside the reserve forest area, was the main thrust of this program in that case. So this is actually cumulative progress. Actually, if you see the cumulative progress of this thing. So total, 1 minute, I think there is some. Sorry, I think there's some. So from year-wise, if you see that, in 2015, 16, actually 2000, when we started the program, it was only 15 crore we could do initial year. So this is the total actually. This is the green, it's a total, and this is the red is actually other department, while green is forest. So forest is not very big contributory, but in the number, as far as the number is concerned, forest department is not a very big contributor. So 15-16 were around 15 lakh, then 15 crore, sorry, then 31 crore, then 60 crore, then 36 crore in 18-19, and 2019 to 42 crore, then 2021 33 crore, 21, 22, 29, like that. So totally we could 273 crore seedlings we have planted, as against the 230 what we are mandated for the whole project. Actually, we say that we will be doing 230 crore seedling. But as on today, the last 15 days back, we could have achieved that target. So similarly, urban parks are the major thrust. So that was the other area that especially all municipal department and development authority, they have this thing. So we have also identified 59 urban parks in and around Hyderabad. Similarly, there are 17 conservation blocks. That is basically in urban area, because the urban area also got a maximum, thrust and more importance, because that's a challenge. We have to see that the urban population and their life, their health, and their well-being is also equally concerned, since urban areas growing very fast. So wherever the new small villages, they are turning into town or again municipality and bigger things. So that's why they were also targeted in that part and this thing. If you see the finances and all these things, there are different source of finances. We are having the total, if you see for this year, 2020-30, so we have spent 1,301 crore rupees for this year up to December. Out of this, actually state government has given 34 crore. Then we have the 10% of Manrega, that is the rural guarantee scheme, 71, and the CAMPA is the major contributor, which is the compensatory afforestation fund, the fund which we get, forest department get in lieu of diversion of forests, forest diversion cases from the different component, because we have to do compensatory plantation. So this money comes for that purpose. Similarly, 169 crore, it was for the urban body, their funding was there. Then I will come to that, this green for, 862 crore is there. I will come to that part actually later on, because it has some linkings or other initiative. So almost 200 crore, which was a green fund actually, 205. So I will just come to what is the green fund concept. So what I am saying, 10,470 from 2015 onwards. So we have spent that amount for the various activity inside and outside that tree planting program. Now, this is the major, what is called the landmark change, what was done then. So one of the landmark change, what was the, I say, policy intervention, what the government did, they actually amended the local panchayat and municipal act. Panchayat, you know that all village panchayats are there, local bodies are there. So in the municipal also, they have the municipal, all municipality, they have municipal council. So what they did that, what they said that why the amendment, now we say that all gram panchayat, they have to be make a provision of nursery, at least 40,000 seedling per year they are to suppose planting, and the panchayat secretary has to be responsible for raising of nursery, and sarpanch, or village head, or that what is called sarpanch, he is responsible for taking plantation and maintaining green cover. An extension officer of the Panchayat Raj department, he has a mandate of inspection, one of the major activity. So is that, and the final, that is very important thing, is that the 85% survival of plantation should be there. Otherwise, they are liable to be answered that. They have to be answerable for that. If there is a less survival plantation, then a less survival of the plantation, it is less than 85%. And all gram panchayat, they are expected to achieve model village concept, planning, both cleaning and greening concept will be there, and intensive monitoring and maintenance of plantation. Then 10% of the green budget, wherever this municipal may, they are supposed to allocate 10% of their annual budget for green. That's why the green fund is coming into picture. The panchayat and municipality, they are having earmark allotted 10% of their fund for green activity, tree planting or related activity. So that since this is an amendment done, so it cannot be now changed, it cannot be compromised, that they can, no panchayat or no municipality can say that no sir, we will not allocate that green fund. So it is by the act now. So this is mandatory. So this was the very, very landmark decision actually, which was taken by the government. Very, very, and I would admit that this is the brainchild of the present Chief Minister, Mr. K. Chandrasekhar Rao. He's very committed on that. So we say unless you do that thing, and he said it came into 2018 when the program was started 2015. So it took 2-3 years to understand, okay, now what is the response of people, then how more and more people will be involved. If that's the case in the government system, the people are sometimes they become active only by your virtue of act or this thing, then we really act. Sometimes otherwise, if you just leave it to their judgment and wisdom, they may say, no, sir, this time we will not do that, next year we will do kind of thing. So just to avoid that thing and ensure there is a continuity of fund, that the green fund is coming to picture. Then another just speculative, very, very speculative, which is the Haritha Nidhi concept. It has come. It has just come 2022, last year. So what is a Haritha Nidhi or green fund, what is called? It is ensuring uninterrupted green financing. I think this is the one of the, this is the first state actually where we started this concept. What it says, it is a dedicated fund created from participation of citizen for protection of plant and bringing a sense of participation. So he wanted, the Honorable CM wanted to discuss. He said that then people also wanted to say, yes, we also want, sir, we also want to be a partner of this program. We also want to contribute. So then he introduced the concept of Haritha Nidhi and say that then we consulted all stakeholder of various, political parties, political leaders, and also the local people, service associations, various associations of the businessmen committees and all these things. Then they agreed, sir. They say, okay, sir, let us come into them. So part of that, then all agreed to contribute every year a fixed amount for this Haritha Nidhi. So like that, Honorable Member of Parliament, MLA, they are contributing 6,000 rupees per year. It is 1,200 rupees. And 500 rupees per month, it comes around 600 per year. Chairperson of Jila Parishad, he is contributing 1,200 rupees per year. So are the civil servant, including us, we also contribute 1,200 rupees per year one time. Chairman of local Mandal Praja Parishad, 600 per year. Government employee, they contribute 300 per year. Mandal Parishad, territorial constituency president, they constitute 120 a year. And even student, ranging from 10 to 100 rupee at the time of admission per student. So 100 will be the highest, I mean, degree colleges and the, I mean, at the higher education level, but 10 will the starting 10th standard. So at a time, rupees contributing 10 per, I mean, per one say not, it doesn't help us, but it gives a sense of participation. Yes, sir, I am also contributing for the green cause. And apart from that, we also have a provision from the work contract, who is giving government work contract, if a certain part of that is being deducted. Similarly, CDF, I mean, constituency development fund of the MP, MLA, registrations, license, etc. So what it has done actually, so we, I think around 26 crore is now, as on today, it has been accumulated just in, not in 1 year, less than 1 year. So we have received that amount, and it is being now, it is one of the, so we are not dependent on the government, you give the money and all these things. So this amount is now being exclusively used for the tree planting and maintenance relative activity. Only for that purpose, there is a committee meant for that, a high level committee, which approved the working, I mean, annual plan and various projects, which are, because they have certain guidelines, all project cannot fit into that. So this is giving, I mean, funding to that. So we need not, I mean, look for the government every time, because government, when there are certain, sometimes problems, the money will not be there. So to take care of that kind of problem. So once that is the concept, so every year there is a fixed amount of money which is available for the government or the various department to take care of that greening program, all that thing. So then I will just go to one video of that program. Then I will just see that. So you can give a some snapshot in a way. Otherwise, it is very difficult to, I mean, say that explain in that 5 or 1 minute. Just 1 minute. I think is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible, but the audio is not coming
As
yet.
the world is embracing rapid
It's audible also.
urbanization and industrialization,
Oh, thank you.
it is also witnessing massive ecological imbalances caused by declining green cover, which will have dire consequences on future generations. Climate change is the biggest challenge that the world is facing today. The very survival of humans is at stake if no urgent corrective measures are taken. Telangana, the youngest state of India, has been in the vanguard of climate change mitigation strategies and green initiatives. Under the visionary and innovative leadership of Honorable Chief Minister Shri K. Chandrasekhar Rao, a path-breaking afforestation drive, Telangana Ku Haritha Haram, was conceived in 2015. The program aims to achieve environmental stability and ecological balance for sustainable future by increasing green cover in the state to 33% of the total geographical area. Telangana Ku Haritha Haram is the biggest plantation drive in India and the third largest afforestation program in human history. The flagship program is in sync with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and aims to achieve goals like climate change, life on land. The Telangana Forest Department is playing a pivotal role in transforming the goals of Harithaharam into a reality. Telangana has adopted a multi-pronged approach to increase the green cover by taking up plantation within and outside the forest areas. Nurseries. High degree of impetus has been given on development of nurseries in every urban ward and rural panchayats across the state. A robust ecosystem is being built with focus on local and native plant species. Social forestry is getting a fillip as part of the plantation efforts outside forests. Avenue plantation. Landscape development along with roads, highways and pathways with avenue plantations on either side have been taken up as part of Harithaharam. Plants of various lengths are planted to create a dense multi-layer vegetation. Avenue plantation provide shade, offer aesthetic relief with flowers, act as windbreakers, reduce noise pollution, prevent soil erosion, lower dust and suspended particles. The Avenue Plantation Drive has covered all the highways and significant roads across Telangana. Palle Prakriti Vanams, or village green parks, have been raised in all Gram Panchayats in the state. Nearly 20,000 such parks are developed so far. Parle Prakruti Vanams, with dense vegetation, act as carbon sinks, and they promote community activities apart from promoting health awareness among citizens. Patana Prakriti Vanams have been developed in all urban local bodies. These parks are a perfect place to rewind and rejuvenate from the daily routine life. These lung spaces are complete with lush green vegetation, walking tracks, children play area, and benches. Institutional plantation, open lands in government offices, educational institutions, commercial premises, corporate campuses, religious institutions have been identified and plantations have been taken up. Plantations have also been taken up in 2 BHK dignity housings, Vaikuntha Dhamams, colonies, and various other places. Plantation activities have transformed the institutions into green hubs. Plantation on industrial land. Plantations have been taken up on vacant lands in industries and industrial parks. Agro and farm forestry. Farmers are being encouraged to take up commercial plantations on their lands and farm bunds as part of agro and farm forestry activities. Varieties of trees have been planted across the state, providing an economic incentive to the farmers. Ether Vanams. Harithaharam is also reviving the tradition of toddy tapping in Telangana. Ether, or date palm tree plantation drives, are being taken up across the state. Tank foreshore and bund plantation. Lakes are being fortified with dense plantation on both sides, creating walking and jogging tracks in nature's lap. Plantations are being taken up in lake foreshores to increase green cover and reduce evaporation. These green pockets harbor various aquatic birds. Homestead plantation. Harithaharam nurseries also raise saplings for homestead plantation. 6 saplings of fruit-bearing, flower, and medicinal value are distributed free of cost to the households, making citizens stakeholders in the greening exercise. Yadadri model. Harithaharam adopted Miyawaki plantation method and calling it locally Yadadri model plantation in Telangana state. Under this, indigenous plant species are planted close to each other, creating a multi-layered dense vegetation in smaller areas. High inputs in the form of natural fertilizers are given into the soil for fast growth. These plantations grow in 2 to 3 years and are self-sustaining. They attract local birds and insects apart from lowering temperature, reducing air and noise pollution. The success of Yadadri model is being replicated across the state. These are very useful in urban areas where land is scarce. The government of Telangana has implemented numerous innovative reforms and path-breaking institutional arrangements. And as a part of that, a game-changing strategy has been formulated for plantations outside forest areas, which rests on 4 pillars: green budget, local nurseries, watering tankers, and holding elected representatives accountable. Green budget. Municipalities and Gram Panchayats have to compulsorily spend 10% of their budget on plantation activities. Accountability. As per new Panchayat Raj Act, Municipal Act, local bodies have to ensure a minimum of 85% survival of saplings, failing which the elected representatives are liable for removal from office. Telangana Haritha Nidhi, a path-breaking initiative of Government of Telangana, is a dedicated green fund which creates a sure and sustainable lifeline for all future plantation programs. It is independent of the budget. It will have contributions from elected representatives, government employees, registration transactions, and contracts, etc. Plantation activities inside the forest areas. The rejuvenation and plantation strategy inside the forests comprises 5 components: protection of boundaries, soil and moisture conservation works, cultural operations, plantations, minimizing fire hazard, As a part of boundary protection, all forest blocks which are close to the vicinity of the urban areas are protected by chain link fencing. Remaining forest areas are protected by digging trench with 2 meters top width and 2 meters depth along with the boundary. These measures ensure that forests are not trespassed and biotic pressure is reduced. So far, 11,263 kilometers of boundary line is secured with chain link fence, compound wall and trench, etc. at an expenditure of 314 crore rupees, which is the highest in the country. Check dams, percolation tanks, staggered trenches, rock fill dams, etc. are constructed by identifying appropriate locations duly following watershed management principles. So far, 11,097 number of structures are created at an expenditure of 204.61 crore rupees. To improve the vigor of the existing forest, a variety of cultural activities like removal of invasive weeds, cutting of climbers, singling, and coppicing are done. These measures ensure that the native forest species get maximum opportunity to grow as full-fledged trees. Weed removal is also accompanied by broadcasting local grass seeds. So far, 14.03 lakh acres, which is 45% of total feasible forest area for treatment, that is 31.08 lakh acres, has been treated in this manner. Wherever the canopy density is less, plantations are taken up with about 25 local forest species, such as neem, ficus, terminalius, hardwickia, etc. So far, 24.53 crore plants have been planted in gap areas as well as in blocks. These plantations are successful and having good survival percentage. Last but not the least measure is effective management of fire by creating fire lines, identifying vulnerable areas to prevent forest fires. Quick response teams are deployed in vulnerable areas with modern equipment and vehicles. By reducing biotic pressure, scientifically improving soil and moisture quality inside the forest, putting in place effective cultural practices to promote growth of trees, taking up gap plantations and block plantations in all feasible gap areas, and by preventing destruction of forests by fires, Forest Department has demonstrated an excellent model on how to rejuvenate forests in a time-bound manner on a large scale. Urban forest parks, reserve forest blocks in and around the cities and municipalities are being developed in urban forest parks. These urban lung spaces offer venue for leisure and community building activities. These parks have walking and cycling tracks, yoga arenas, open classrooms and watchtowers. 109 urban parks have been created. Green India Challenge. Inspired by Telangana Ku Haritha Haram, Green India Challenge was initiated under this. Individuals plant 3 saplings and geotags them and challenge 3 others to do the same. Harithaharam has made an immense impact on the geography and people of Telangana. People have started gifting plants instead of flower bouquets, and birthdays of leaders are celebrated by taking up massive plantation drives. Milestones of Telangana Ku Haritha Haram. 270 crore saplings planted and raised across Telangana since 2015. 9,777 crores have been spent since 2015. 1,40,000 acres of 56,750 hectares of plantations inside forests. 12.63 lakh acres of forests rejuvenated. 109 urban forest parks, highest in India. 12,000 kilometers of multi-layer avenue plantation. 15,000 nurseries established in the state. 19,742 Parle Prakriti Vanams. 1,864 Bruhat Parle Prakriti Vanams. Cumulative increase from 2014 to 2019. Forest cover 6.85%. Tree cover 14.51%. Green cover 7.7%. Hyderabad the only city in India to be recognized as Tree City of the World for consecutive years 2020 and 2021. Hyderabad received both the overall World Green City 2022 and Living Green for Economic Recovery and Inclusive Growth 2022 awards at International Association of Horticulture Producers or AIPH Global Awards. It is not an exaggeration to say travelers from neighboring states immediately know that they have entered Telangana as they are welcomed by lush vegetation-filled highways. Telangana Ku Haritha Haram has blossomed beyond the boundaries of government and has become people's green movement, transforming Telangana into a role model state.
Yeah. So let me again go to my continuation. So am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
You are.
I think this slide is visible over here.
Not yet, sir.
So I have to, okay, just let me get, it is not shared. 1 minute. Sorry for that thing. Let me just. Is it okay? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So so this is an attempt to just highlight, because this is so massive program. So there are so many aspects. So we try to give us some overview of some insight of that program. So in nutshell, if you just see which are the contributing factor for this this great program, which is really the evidence is there that there are reports that it is not third party, or on the Forest Survey of India, they have also endorsed that is in the record on that thing. So we cannot say that it is a self-repayment kind of thing. We are not claiming that whatsoever done, it is visible to outside, visible to agency, visible to even the satellite. So what are the various factors which has contributed? So one of the major factor, or one of the foremost factor, there's a political will that is very important. As I said, that the Honorable Chief Minister was having this concept immediately after and after taking that increasing the green was the topmost priority of that thing. And once there is a political priority, obviously the all and that is a continued. It is not the one time. Just sometime what happened, you just come in to say that, okay, this year we say we'll increase our green cover, and next year you forget about things. So fortunately, and we have good luck for the whole state that this was a continued priority program. Second thing, it is also followed by the executive commitment whatsoever. Whosoever they're executing the work, they have also worked in the commitment aspect. Like we have committed feeling, they have shown that thing. And professional, what I am saying professional, if it comes to professional, it comes with the professional input from the forest department, because unless you give the quality seedling, unless you give the quality technique or exposure to planting technique, because you have seen the major contribution is the outside. Then outside they are not the professional, they are not the regular people who do the planting, unlike forest department or forest official. So that professional input has to be exposed. They have to given, they have to tutor, then they have to motivate it to that thing. So that was also equally important, which has helped to achieve that program. Then another major program then is the public participation, irrespective of any department or whether the people or their post or their status in society and all these things. All walk of people, all of society, they contributed and they participated whatsoever possible from their thing. And the last but not least, the continued financing. That is the major, actually. If you just see why, if you just evaluate why the program failed, because many times that's because the financing is the major concern. It happens sometimes because we have plan, we have a strategy, but you don't have the financing. So it doesn't go into that as per the target or as per your research, which you are having that target. So that was also equally important program. It has continued financing, and the latest one, that contribution of the Green Fund, it has helped like anything. So now what is that? What's about the planting we are doing or their maintenance in the coming year? So it is irrespective. We are not concerned about the whether state government gives money or not. We have our own mechanism. We will take care of that thing. So these are the factors which have helped. Then, and when I say that thing, is another concept factor, the tree by all with institutional support. Because what happened in the Indian, Republic and the all states under India, this is the more or less the monopoly of tree planting, or you can say the all major responsibility of tree planting or the environment. It lies with the forest department. Usually we say, whenever you come to tree planting, we'll say, okay, the forest department will take care. So for the first time in Telangana, the conventional role of forest department, which is the always with that tree planting means forest department, but no, this time this was shifted and distributed among all the government agency. So that was the major change. That's why it was possible that to do that kind of, to achieve that kind of, good progress outside forest. Then supporting political, I covered that. He said that this was very supportive. In fact, this Harithaharam concept, it was originated long back in 2004, 2005, when the Honorable CEM was the member of parliament, and at the time he was the minister in the central cabinet in the Karimnagar. Then he concepted at that time Telangana Ku Haritha Haram. So, but later on, when the new Telangana state, he gave a, concrete, structure and concrete planning to that. So the concept was very old at that time. It means he was having that kind of, inclination toward environment, inclination toward tree planting. It is not that after, for new formation of new state, this was in his mind long back. And effective monitoring, I just stated that at the state level, so it plays a, because state level, when the chief secretary, all departments were involved, unlike previously, and district level, all departments are involved. Then relentless support and hand-holding by forest department, that was the mainly we say that quality seedling was the major concern. I would just like share that, unlike our previous this thing, so we used to not bother about the quality of seedling, which otherwise, but after seeing that kind of initiative when 2015 started, then we saw that the height of seedling is sometimes 30 centimeter, 50 centimeter, 60 centimeter, quality was not very good. So later on, we say, no, this is the major, aspect which we have to look after, because if you have the quality seedling, your 50% of your progress you can ensure by that. So that was also ensured by the forest department. Timely planting or technical aspect whatsoever to guidance to all stakeholders, which are really not the forest department personnel. They outside all various department personnel who are not having any idea of a technical aspect of planting. So this was done. Then historic, amendment, I say that it has already covered everything. So again, I will just give you a little 1 minute, snapshot of one nursery, because that is very important to say that how quality seedling helps in the, any successful tree planting program. Usually we ignore that part, but I would like to, because last 6-7 years I am seeing that it helps a lot if you have the good quality stock of native species and you have done the timely planting. Almost your 70% of the work is done. So I will just share this one actually. So I will just say that 1 minute. Is it loading actually? It's just very, yeah, is it okay?
Yes.
So this is actually a just 1 or less than 1 minute clip of a nursery, typical nursery, which I have taken the last year when the planting, I was in the field inspection. So how we are having some thousands of such kind of nursery, and you can see the quality of seedling and the species, how beautifully or how professionally they have been raised. So I just go through please that one. So there is no volume. This is this is without volume. You can just enjoy the clip. This is infiltrament, that is ficus, that is followed by the name, that is the local species. Then this side, I think this is some Peltophorum. Inside, then again we have, this is Dalbergia siso, then this is Dalmulax regia. Maybe this is very fast, so I'm not able to see. Maybe some other species. So this is just a clipping, I want to, see that you please see how the quality, 1 minute. Sorry, I'm sorry about that because sometimes. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Quality seedling, no?
Yes.
So yes, so as impact also I have seen in the movie that we could, improve or you can increase our forest cover from 3.6% in 2019 to 6.85%, and further forest cover outside recorded forest. That is very important because that is where the thrust was there for the government outs to improve the outside. Then that is what the impact, and you have seen the evidence how they got the good recognition at the international forum. So we could improve, increase 40.8% forest cover outside. Another thing that the Hyderabad city also got a highest decadal growth for the 10-year from as per the FSI report, from between 2011 to 2021, it has registered 146% of green growth in that decade. So these are the evidence of the how the program went go. So this is same Tree City Award which got in 2021. Similarly, Green City Award also you got that thing. And Green City Award was 2 times actually for 2021 and 22. So now, if any program is there, certainly it is not that future actually. Certainly there are various challenges also. It has seen a very good, good result, and we have also witnessed, and it has been, appreciated and acknowledged by various forums, including, various governmental agencies who are doing that monitoring kind, including Forest Survey of India and the national government and the various international forum. Even still we have, because if you want to go to 33% and beyond that also, see, let's say if I say around 6%, 24 and 6, it is 30%. But now scaling up, that is the biggest challenge. So there are certain challenges also in the program when people are involved in such a massive program. So one of the challenges placed for science and ecology, this is very important. Why I am to say that? When millions of trees are planted and the people at the villages, they are involved, sometimes these aspects are little got compromised. I will just give you an example of Conocarpus actually, which is species. Sometime it got planted. So luckily of last 2 years, it is discontinued. So what happened when we started all Gram Panchayat and village Panchayat? So they started when out of enthusiasm, they started taking trees. What to do then? From the neighboring area and all these things, they came to know that there is a species Conocarpus. They started planting in that. So that is not a good species because it's the exotic species, and moreover, and there are reports that whenever if it counters with the below that it encounter that the root system, when you counter with the tap, water pipeline, all this thing, there are certain reports, so it damages to that. And moreover, it has not much of, not much scientific, but people say that it is not that good for, biodiversity, aspect. It is not harboring much biodiversity aspect, but I have not seen any scientific data. But we think, considering that this is an exotic species, so it was there for some time, but later on we corrected and we asked, no, we will not go for it. So last 2 years, this is being discontinued like anything. So that was one thing, right plant and at right place. And other aspect which is very important in that, how to involve and incentivize, because what happened, you say the dependence of village, people living near the fringe forest area, they have a lot of dependence, and they are also cause of that destruction also because of their livelihood issues and all this. So how to involve them? So if you want to involve them, certainly without incentivizing, appropriately, we cannot involve them. We cannot ask them to, okay, you don't do this thing, you don't go to, forest for doing some cutting of this thing, collecting timbers, or cutting, selling timbers and all these things. So unless you involve them, either you have to give some package to them to wean away, or if you want to involve them, you have to incentivize. So how they, otherwise there is again likelihood that for some day they will not, one day or 2 days they will not go, next day again they don't have any alternative for their livelihood, so they will again go to the. So that is very important, and that requires some thinking in that in the coming years. And other things, especially in cities and towns. What we have seen now what we are witnessing, almost all area have been planted. So there is not much, scope for planting of tree in the cities and towns now. So wherever the place is there, that is a genuine concern of conflict is coming, conflict of interest in growing city and town, because you know that in the Hyderabad or all the city, the land cost is very, very high. And even an inch or square foot of land has, especially which is worth crore of rupees sometime. 1 acre will be around 10 crore or 15 crore in the major, area. So in such, and the people also, they don't want to use that purpose. See, we have that thing, but the money involved in that other non-planting activity or other than planting activity, they have huge stake, they have huge, economic benefit is involved. So why they will go for that? So that has to be, sufficiently, addressed. And we have to, come out with some, modality or some intervention, so that how the conflict of interest is, sorted out or is resolved in that. So livelihood dilemma, I say that it is in the villages, that is a very important, we have to address that. Otherwise, they will not be, for long time, for the future, they will not be able to involve them. And another thing, identification and area availability. This is, identification is also a concern in that. Sometimes what is happening, as I say, the science and technology, sometimes out of this thing, because once the government system, what happened that they go a target kind of approach. Suppose some of the institution, they have that, they say you have to do some 1,000 seedling each year. So suppose they have the area which is not very suitable for tree planting, or it has some, challenging situation, or sometimes it is grassland kind of thing, or sometimes it is not very good, or there are some, marshy area or lake area is there involved, or there is some.
Sir, what I suggest, we can take the questions now, and what you are explaining are actually
okay, just
asking.
1 minute, Chaturvedi. So this is all actually our challenges. So I will just stop sharing and I will just switch over to that. I think sorry that I just get delayed for that time. Yeah, Mr. Raju Chaudhary, as you are saying that now we can take up question and answer, which are there.
No, sir, actually you were answering all the questions. This is what we have got the questions. So in fact, in last couple of minutes that you spoke, you actually answered many of the questions that our participants have been asking here. So one question that I can see, a very important question that resonates with me also, it is from Dr. Shyam Parthal from Nalanda University. And he's asking that, as you said, that we have now exhausted all the land that is available for tree plantation, etc., especially in the urban areas. So how you are ensuring, because trees are not the only ecosystem that is natural and valuable from its natural services perspective. Even grassland is equally vigorous and important system, especially if it is so. There is a concept that is coming up now, is open natural ecosystems. How do you make
ONE,
ONE? So how does Telangana making sure that you are not encroaching upon, or this plantation drive is not getting into the ONE systems? That is one question. We have received multiple questions, but I think you can go ahead with this one very important question, which is
First, let me just try to answer Shyam question, that how they're saying that how to take care of the ONE, that is open natural ecosystem. It's a very valid thing. As you are saying, that our major concern, first things are outside. Outside also our major concern is the all institutional land and the land available with the urban bodies, local body, panchayat, and all this thing. So coming to that, as far as the forest department is concerned, inside forest, so we have categorized that which are the open forest area, or where are the grassland, even in our all protected area, wherever the open grassland, because they are otherwise also they are not to be planted as per that thing. Apart from that, wherever the open system, open grassland or other natural ecosystem are there in the forest department, in the forest side, we are taking care that these are not unnecessarily disturbed, or they are also not put into that plantation drive. So that we are taking care of certainly in case of forest department. That's why we have the less target and the less area coverage. And you see that our more than 50%, it has gone to the ANR system, that assisted natural regeneration. We are trying to improve the existing vegetation by various other intentions other than tree planting. That's why we don't have the much target of plantation inside forest area. Coming to outside also, as you are saying, because we have that kind of natural ecosystem outside also. That is the question that I say, that this is the major challenge. Sometimes it happens that open natural system, they are also being compromised, but we are taking care of the outside also. We are trying to motivate and enlighten the all other department and all these things who are dealing with that open area grassland kind of thing. So that is the challenge what I'm saying. Outside it is a little bit challenge, so we are trying to take care of that thing. But the inside forest department, I say inside reserve forest, we have already taken care of that aspect. Okay, then other thing is that Mr. Sarat Chandra, what about species selection strategy? See, it was basically what we have done. We have given a list of some 30-35 which are the local species. Then also we have given a information to all stakeholders that if you are going for that some avenue plantation, these are the species you can select, a kind of menu kind of this thing given. You want to go for institutional plantation, these are the species. So we try to enlighten them in that way. We are giving information. This is the local species, this is the fast species, or these are the open area, you take the species, or this is the flowering plant, so you can just for that aesthetic aspect you can. So that it is a kind of awareness we have given. It is only bringing awareness and giving more and more information to the various stakeholders. And Ondra also saying that how was the political will built, also the step taken to sensitize build capacity other department. See, political will in this case, it was already built. It was inbuilt, in fact. So there was a very, very genuine concern from, as I said, this was the Harithaharam concept. It was the 18 years before also when the Telangana was not formed. So it was, we are lucky to have this thing, that we are having that kind of, information in that. So this has helped in all these things. And you are saying sensitizing building capacity of other department. Yeah, that was the massive kind of training we have taken, because there were monitoring windows at state level, district level, and the sub-department, sub-divisional level. So forest department used to give a lot of training to them, whether it is raising planting, whether it is maintenance of planting, how to water, how to good planting, what are the seedling raising and all these things. So, and we have been series of training, taking our people to the various area, various nursery, making advertising them, making them to see how our plantations are, raised, how quality seedling we have raised. Again, they will come back, then again, they will be given training and a lot of input work. So it was a continued process over a 4 or 5 year, because this is not a 1 year or this thing. So still it is continuing wherever that thing in their program. Then I think, how you are taking the role of geospatial technology, satellite and drone for plantation planning and post helmet. See, plantation planning, already we have the data. What I am saying that we have already data available from the, we have the watershed maps already available. We have the now all kind of, density wise, we have the images available, which are the area to be taken on that, which are the area to be taken for the planting, and which are the area where you have to give more space for the soil moisture conservation. So it has helped in satellite. Drone, actually we have not used. Drone is now, drone for plantation and all these things still we are not using for planting activity. It is just for some evidence gathering or taking documentation we are doing, and we are working on that. As you are saying that drone use from plantation planning and post monitoring and that thing, that they are some of the project actually they are under progress, and hopefully I think in the coming year we will try to devise some this thing. And in that, since Mr. Professor Siddhartha Khare is there, actually we also request them actually if they have some good model or some good suggestion in that case, if they can certainly share with us, so certainly we can make use of this technology also to make them more soundproof and more effective in that case. I hope these are the only question. Or
sir, we have a couple of more questions that are pasted in the chat box.
Please.
Especially one question is there by Dr. Vijay Ram Prasad. So he's talking about question number 1.
1 minute,
how
yeah.
institutional interplay worked among departments, funds and resources, who managed the funds and resources, and how consensus was achieved. And then he's saying,
okay, let me see. No, your voice is breaking, Rajiv ji, actually. Okay. Now I will just see that in chat box there is something. Species tolerant. What is pollution hotspot? Does native species survive better? See, a question of Hema, that species tolerant species planted in high pollution hotspot. I think it require. We have not done any study for that aspect. I think it requires some I mean, research for that, so we can come out that with how their native species are, what is responding and how they are surviving better or they are not surviving. This we have not done this kind of research. Coming to Mr. Vijay Ramprasad, this is 1 minute question.
yes, sir. I think you can see Vijay Ramprasad's question here.
Yeah, I have seen what they say, that FD has any challenge and conflict with community, if any, and issue of panchayat accountability. See, this actually I said that now once the panchayat when we have enacted that, I mean, they have made that amendment to that act, when they are responsible and they also made responsible, obviously it has also changed their attitude. So it is not that we are saying, though they are now, they know that yes, they are accountable, they also have to take care. So this has helped into building rapport with the panchayats or villages wherever they are. And since the mandate has come by the enactment, it is not the see, earlier what happened when you want to convince a villager, if you say don't do this thing, don't cut planting or plant or do more planting, take some greening activity, since there is no backup, I mean, as far as the legal backup kind of thing. So that our voice, unless you are very, I think, committed or doing intensive work in one area and working with, some village for year together, but that is not the case with the government officials, because they have to switch work. How maximum we can give 1 hour or 2 hours in one place, and again they have some other job also. But with this, change in the Panchayat Act, so people also have been made accountable, so then understand. So it has helped us to pursue our message or pursue our goal. We said, well, you know that it is not this is the government has made, you are made responsible, so you do that thing. So it has helped a lot. So the panchayat also now coming forward, they say, no, yes, we kind of this thing that yes, we will also come together. Please see how, how we can help in that case. Then any further strategy included harvesting NTFP. See, this is not tree outside forest, not many. So it is just at a stage, it is a starting stage. So mostly this part also it has not been covered, because it has to come in that aspect, because this also part we have to look after the how to sharing has to be done first. Then again we have to make an inventory. At this time, till this time, we are in that case here, we are in that, okay, improving the green cover, improve that green cover. And now the results say that you have, yes, to some extent we have achieved good thing. So now there is a time that we have to see all these challenges, as you are saying, that how the NTFP harvesting is there, if they are NTFP, so who will the sharing and all these things. So how they will be in what way they are, if they really participate, then how the sharing mechanism. That's a very major challenging aspect to sharing NTFP wherever the communities are concerned. So luckily outside, what happened, most of the area, they are the institution or the government. So there is not, communities are not involved in that, say. And this is also a challenge, whether in the coming year, whether you can involve people or community in the outside also, but it requires a lot of planning and all these things, because the community are the scattered in that way, but whether they really can help in doing, see, urban area, this is not very, very easily possible. You cannot expect that in the basti and all the habitation, the people come and do some kind of thing. But even then, this point is very well taken, that how to involve community. This is the one of the major challenge, I say, that in the coming year. So I hope that we have taken care.
Yes, sir.
See how
With this,
plantation.
we have taken care of all the questions now. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. So with this, we have taken care of all the questions. And yeah, I think we are at the very end of the our discussion today. So yes, sir, you wanted to say something?
No, Rajiv. From my side, actually, I'm very thankful and I'm very pleased to, be part of this good interaction program. I hope that I've tried, maybe because this is such a big program, it is very difficult to condense because it is a work of some 8 to 10 years and involving so many departments, there are so many dimensions actually. So I'm not very sure that I could cover in this short possible time to all aspects. There are so many avenues, so many areas, and what I request the participants, if they have some issue where they want that it can be further better, so I seek their suggestion. Their suggestions are welcome. I just share my email ID also. I'm on Twitter also sometime, or the mobile number also. We certainly welcome the input and suggestion so that it can be improved a lot, and we can certainly, so far it has become the state, India has become the only state of India which has taken such a landmark policy intervention. And not only they have taken it, they have shown it also over a period of 6-7 years. We are not saying, because I should not comment, but the other states may there have been program, but there is no result actually. Or even in that case, I would even say that the international level also, there is no such, we don't have record that yes, over 6 years we have achieved this much. So we have the tangible, which is visible, which is verifiable. So that, and still I think we should take further also, not only the others should replicate this kind. Certainly other states are now working on that. They are coming, many states, they have come here, then they are studying. Again, this depend on the political will. A lot of other things are there which is required for making any program successful. So lastly, what I request that all the participants, if they have any suggestion to make further better, to improve it, and to make it more, attractive in the coming year, certainly please drop a line, or please send me a mail or send me a message. Certainly we'll look into that, and we start, if possible, we'll collaborate also on that aspect also. From my side is again, thank you all.
So sir, thank you,
Mr. Rajiv.
Sir, thank you very much for very enlightening discussion. And you have been very effective in communicating the fact. I hope I'm audible well.
Yeah, it's okay.
You have been very effective in communicating the fact that this is an amazing story which has taken place in Telangana. About 7.7% of the green cover, including forest and tree cover, has increased. That is really amazing. And I think at national level also, we need to think if we can replicate it. If we can replicate it, maybe our long cherished goal of 33% forest cover may also be realized. So I think, sir, this is very clear to us. And we thank you very much for giving your valuable time and sharing your insights with us, sir. Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Deepu, you want to say something?
Yes. So as you said, I would like to thank Mohan sir for sharing his experiences working with the Harithaharam program, which is a successful policy intervention from the side of Telangana. And this program shows the significance of having the involvement of multiple stakeholders for the success of any effort to increase the green cover, and the importance of having a green budget. I missed one thing about him while introducing him. He is actually a long-time active member of IUCN Commission of Ecosystem Management. And thanks to Dr. Rajiv for moderating the session. And thanks to all who have joined us for today's webinar and raised questions. I could see that those who had joined have stayed back till the end. And thanks to our chair, Angela Andrade, and of course, Dr. Shalini Dhyani, who is Asia Vice Chair, for their encouragement in organizing this webinar. Of course, I should thank Ondrila Basu, who is a CEM and professional, in supporting us in managing this webinar. The recording of this session will soon be uploaded in the CEM South Asia YouTube channel, and also will be shared in our Harnessing Nature blog. Thank you all once again, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, and good night to all.